Wow, what lovely weather on the allotment. As you can see, well, you probably can't see much. It's raining rather hard on my allotment. Now, admittedly, it's a bit overgrown. I've got some work to do here, so I'm going to crack on now, and there's no one here, so it's going to be a very productive day. So I'll see you in a moment. And yes, here I am, still in my neighbour's abode. In fact, it's very nice indeed. I'm pretty pleased about it. But the weather doesn't seem to be yielding at the moment. And even though I'm still at my allotment here, I'm not going to talk about vegetables today. I'm going to talk about the kind of questions you can get from a globe head, as I used to be, and how you can answer them. So wish me luck. Incidentally, I'm in my neighbour's sort of greenhouse thing. He doesn't know. Shh, I will tell him one day. I think his name's Richard. But yeah, let's talk about some interesting things that you can say back to someone who says, duh, it's not flat, it's round. So, one of the questions could be, blimey, have you not seen those pictures from space? You know, of Earth from space, from the moon? We've been to the moon, man. You know, have you not heard that? Well, for example, we've been to the moon 6 times. The first time, 1969. Brilliant. Now, so that's 6 times. Where's the footage? You know, NASA has apparently, I've heard it said, I'm not 100% sure, but I've heard it said that they can't actually play the tapes anymore because the tape systems or the tape players are far too much out of date to be able to play them. Hence no footage from those 6 missions to, I was going to say Mars, but to the moon. So my theory is something so big in history, you kind of think they might have got that right, and that NASA could be capable of somehow preserving that, that footage. But no, that's not the case. So that's one point that you could bring up there. Incidentally, I am meant to be doing my vegetables, but as you can see, the weather conditions are still rather bad. Admittedly, I don't have much to do. As you can see, my allotment is fairly well together. You know, keeping stuff on a fairly level sort of plane, as it were, even though we're on a hill here. But my point being, you know, it's a little bit wet at the moment, so I'll continue with what I was saying, and I'll go back to the my lair. Well, it's not my lair, but you know, it's very kind of them to let me use it. I think it's Richard. I'll speak to him about it. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. No problem. Thanks, Richard. Number 2. Duh, we're like spinning on a ball at 1,000 miles an hour. Do you know what I mean? And you know, have you not heard of this thing called gravity? Are you totally stupid? Wow. The thing with gravity is it's buoyancy versus density, really. It's not anything that actually exists, gravity. It's a theory. You know, like the Big Bang, science theory. It's not a science fact. So gravity, you can argue with the quality of measure of basically, you know, density versus buoyancy, i.e. wood floats on water and bricks don't float very well at all, unless they're a thermalite with not many newtons, hence they've got a lot of air in them. So that's very exciting stuff. Also, you know, let's talk about number 3, which is the Big Bang. Oh, sorry, science even. So science starts with the Big Bang. That is so cool. Bang! Whoa! Anyway, so they think it will come from a Big Bang, and that's their theory, you know, that's their theory, which I think is a miserable theory, really, because at the end of the day, it's a theory. It's not science fact, is it? Science theory. So come on, think about it, you know. Something like that. Alas, the weather still too bad for me to really, you know, get my teeth into things, you know what I mean? I like to put a bit of effort when I do my vegetables. Right, okay guys, it's time to move on. I don't want to stay in here for too long. Richard might get upset. And I've got work to do. Okay, it's still raining quite hard, so my plan is to find some cover. Find a bit of cover. Here we go. So as you can see, what I'm going to do is prepare myself a small tented area to carry on with this discussion. There's my tree in the middle of my garden. Garden's looking a little bit rough at the moment, but the tree is brilliant. Right, I've got my equipment and I've had to move on. Here we go. I've made myself a camp and I should be able to survive in here for a little bit. Admittedly, it's not quite as nice as Richard's, but the view's better. Well, so thank you. We're back in a nice dry environment. It's very cosy in here actually. Now here's another one for you actually. I can't remember what number we're on. I've had a couple of Fosters now. I reckon maybe 4, but basically let's talk about the sea. Now the sea does not curve around this big ball floating in the middle of nowhere. The sea sits level. That's why it's called sea level. So you know, a good example is the Bedford Canal. Get someone to look at that. That was a good one. That got me. Another good example actually is trying to get water to conform to the exterior of an object. You know, just ask someone that. How do you get water to conform to the exterior of an object? It's very simple, very straightforward. And I think you'll find that they all struggle with that. The reason being is that no one has done it. They can't get water to conform to the exterior of an object. It's quite straightforward to try to do it, but you can't. You know, they say, oh, what about ice? And that doesn't count. That's a solid, not a liquid. They say all mannerisms of things, but they can't get water to conform to the exterior of an object. And I actually learned that one from a great big mean hard Scottish man called Big Scott, and he's a great guy and he does some great interviews. But yeah, you cannot do it. So that would be number 4, and I think we're up to 4. So, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, something like that. I think it's 4, you know what I mean. Anyway, next shot please. Oh, many thanks, that was very swift. Oh, so that's food for thought. Now look at this, look at these apples. Absolutely beautiful. This one doesn't look very good though. Anyway, that's a pretty good one. I'll have him. Oh, goodness me. So there you go. There's an apple for you. And the first thing I ever really think about when asked to think of anything, the first thing on my mind, ironically, is one of these bad boys. Although from this angle it looks like a cherry. Safety from the rain. That's very good. Ooh, and after that wonderful apple, let's have a look. Wow, look at that. All of a sudden, the allotment's a little bit better. Not much, still a way to go, but you know, nevertheless. Well, there you go. I mean, there were a few things that were going on in my head when I was chilling around in Dick's tent, or, you know, greenhouse thing. So it was brilliant. I hope you enjoyed them. Have a little bit of a think about them. And basically, until the next time we meet, God bless, be good, take care, and goodbye.